Can you swear that the Monopoly guy had a monocle on his left eye? Were you sure that Britney wore a black microphone headset matching her red suit and oops, I did it again? Well, these things actually never happened. Stay tuned because in this video we'll talk about the Mandela Effect and the conspiracies behind it. Hello fellow terrestrials, and welcome to my first ever mystery and conspiracy video of the series. My name is Flori and this is Pikachu Tail. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe to support my new and growing channel, give this video a like, and you can also follow me on my social media. Now without further ado, let's jump right into the video. The Mandela Effect. So this is quite a famous theory that has been going around for some time now, but what exactly is the Mandela Effect? The Mandela Effect is an incredibly popular mass memory loss or false memory in which not just one, but many people say to believe something that has never actually happened in real life. So they strongly recall an event that actually never happened. There are two types of recalling events in the Mandela Effect. The first one is remembering entire events that actually never happened, and the second one is to remember certain aspects of a memory that are actually false. But the crazy part here is that these people are totally unrelated from each other. They don't know each other, and funny enough, they say to recall almost identical things about a certain event, which actually never really took place. Now, how can this be possible if these people have never met in person and probably were born on completely opposite sides of the world? How can they swear to have literally the same memory of something that never existed? So let's get right into the facts and take a look at 10 most incredible Mandela effects so we can also confirm if we have been a victim of it. Case number 1, Mandela's death. So this is the memory that gives the Mandela Effect its name. The Mandela Effect is a term coined by paranormal author and researcher Fiona Broome, who observed that many people shared false memories of Nelson Mandela's death. Since then is when this term had begun to be used to describe these instances of large groups of people remembering something differently from how it actually occurred. So for those who don't know him, Nelson Mandela was the president of South Africa between the years of 1994 and 1999. Although he died in the year 2013, there is a massive group of people who believe that he had died in prison about 30 years earlier than what he actually died. These people even stated that they can remember the particular news programs on television and even the newspaper articles announcing these news. Some others have even claimed to have been to his funeral and that they could even recall the weather and which music was being played. This never really happened. Nelson Mandela died at his home in Johannesburg on December 2013 and not in prison. Case number 2, Pikachu's Tail. So this one really got me crazy, and I'm quite interested to know if you guys also are a victim of this Mandela Effect. So the Pikachu Mandela Effect is a phenomenon where a lot of people remember this really iconic character as having a black tip at the end of his tail. I mean, no joke, that is how I remember him. I was a massive Pokemon fan, and I can swear I've seen that tail. However, in reality, it appears that this was actually made up. Pikachu never had a black tip on the end of his tail. It's always been entirely yellow. I was really mind blown when I saw this, but I don't think I'm alone in this one. Did you guys also experience the same? Let me know down below, please. Case number 3, KitKat logo. So this is one that I also tended to believe, and that is the KitKat candy having a hyphen in between Kit and Kat. However, in reality, the official branding or packaging of this candy has never included a hyphen. It has always been KitKat altogether. Now, looking at the packaging in the pictures, it doesn't really look right without the hyphen, does it? When referring to the brand, almost half the people will say KitKat has a hyphen in between, and they can swear to have even seen it all over the package. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of confused when I saw the package without the hyphen in between. What about you? Let me know down below. Case number 4, Coca-Cola logo. Another case of a Mandela effect in the logo is Coca-Cola Mandela effect. So, okay, if you think about the Coca-Cola logo, how do you remember it? Is there a hyphen between Coca and Cola? Well, The answer is no. The official branding of the Coca-Cola package does not include a hyphen between the two words. The packaging usually includes like a tiny apostrophe in between. Mind blown? Yeah, me too. In fact, I can't even believe that I've never realized that there was never a hyphen, but an apostrophe. Like, how is it possible? Obviously, many people attribute this misconception to several factors, such as phonetics, or like similar branding, or just basically the common usage of a hyphen in between words. But yeah, believe it or not, the official branding of the packaging does not include a hyphen in it. Case number 5, Skittles logo. So yet again, our next logo case, this time with Skittles. And I'm sure that you know this brand. This Mandela effect makes reference to the eye in Skittles as always having a dot on it, when the truth is, it actually never had one. Now the question is it really missing a dot? Like suddenly I see a candy instead of a dot on top of the eye, and it feels somehow really strange. I could swear there was a dot on the eye. And I mean, this one most likely stems from the font style and basically the usage of this bold and rounding letters. Many people even say like the eye appears in different ways in different packages, so who knows? But still, to me, it doesn't really look very right. Case number 6, Britney's micro set. And for this one, I'm really sure that you remember Britney Spears in her Oops, I Did It Again video clip. You know, the one where she's wearing this iconic red leather suit. What if I told you the microphone headset was never really there? It never existed, you guys. This one is totally intriguing. Like, it literally blew my mind because it actually includes a widespread misconception of a very particular detail. Many fans and even viewers of this video can swear to have seen this black microphone headset that Britney was wearing in that video. Very similar to the one that she always wore on stage when she was like displaying these performances. But honestly, there was so much hype around this case. The headset was even featured in like countless Halloween costumes, merchandising, even movies. As if Britney with her microphone was the real version of the video, specifically when she was wearing that red leather suit. Now, there has to be a mistake, like literally 100%. I remember Britney wearing that black microphone set. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, who has been shifting our reality? Case number 7. Luke, I'm your father. Okay, don't get me wrong, I've never watched Star Wars. But I mean, who hasn't heard of this iconic phrase, Luke, I'm your father? In the science fiction saga created by George Lucas, Darth Vader's famous line has always been, Luke, I'm your father, but he actually says, no, I am your father.
No, I am your father.
He never says Luke. How did we miss that? And did you also remember Luke instead of no? Case number 8, Queen, We Are the Champions ending. This is one of the most mind-blowing Mandela effects in the world of music. The controversial ending of We Are the Champions song by Queen. You know the song, right? But here's the twist. I think we all remember this song ending with Of the World at the end. But let me tell you something. It never existed. I mean, this ending, we made it up. Like literally, if we listen to the song Of the World at the very end, it's never there. The last chorus just repeats, we are the champions, without the of the world afterwards. I was mind blown when I heard of this one. Like, I don't recall the song ending like that. It's just so confusing. Like, how can so many of us remember something that never existed? But like, why do we all remember it that way at least? Well, there are indeed a couple of theories on this one, like live variations of the song or covers who actually say that part. But I mean, with We Are the Champions being such an anthem for victory, it's no surprise that we want to add that of the world at the very end, right? Case number 9, Looney Tunes versus Tunes. I'm sure you remember like this classic cartoon series where like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck were the main characters, right? I mean, we all know them. Well, most of us grew up watching these hilarious cartoons. So many people remember these cartoons as being spelled Looney Tunes, like with double O, instead of how it actually is written, which is tunes as in music. I mean, me included, I've always spelled Looney Tunes with double O as in cartoons. And I mean, I don't want you to think that I'm an ignorant person, but like, didn't you? Well, in any case, the correct way of spelling this is tunes with U. So if you have been writing it with double O, just like me, then you're wrong. And of course, there's a lot of ways to debunk this one. I mean, they sound pretty similar, and many people probably has written them for centuries with double O. No wonder why this one came out as a very big Mandela effect. But still, I can swear I've seen this written down, even on the TV. Like, I have watched that show, you know? I literally saw it as tunes. Like, not tunes with you, like with double O. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm really confused. Case number 10, the Monopoly guy. So you're probably familiar with this like Monopoly dude, the one from the board game. I loved that game. Now, how do you remember him? Did he wear a monocle on his left eye? So picture this. You're playing Monopoly and you got this image of the Monopoly guy, right? You're thinking like top hat, mustache, this monocle on his left eye. Of course, the most fancy part of it. But guess what? The monocle thing never existed. You guys. Now, why do so many of us remember this guy wearing a monocle on his left eye? Well, he's this like rich, snazzy dude, right? A monocle seems like just this perfect accessory to match his outfit. I mean, plus there's probably other characters out there wearing monocles. So yeah, maybe a way to debunk it is basically just mix them up. But at the time I heard that with the monocle, it really freaked me out. Like, I really remember him wearing that monocle. I'm not kidding. That is simply how I remembered him. He's even featured in like countless movies and his monocle is always there. So next time you're playing Monopoly and you're about to land on Park Place, just remember the Monopoly guy may not have a monocle, but he's still rolling on the dough. Okay, now that we've talked about all these particular cases, let's talk about like possible theories for the Mandela effect happening. And I managed to find 3 for you. Theory number 1, parallel universes. So one of the most fascinating theories that are trying to explain the Mandela effect is that of the multiverse. What if the Mandela effect is not just a case of collective misremembering, but instead it's like a glimpse into the existence of parallel universes? So our universe, right? It's massive, it's expanding and home to like millions of galaxies out there, stars and planets, just like Earth. But here's where it gets wild. What if our universe is just one of many? That's where the multiverse theory comes in. According to this idea, there isn't just one universe, but a whole bunch of them, like a cosmic quilt with endless patches. Each universe in the multiverse would have its own set of physical laws, properties, and even dimensions. Scientists have been coming up with like this interpretation of the quantum mechanics, which suggests that every possible outcome of a situation plays out in its own universe. So what does it all mean for us? Well, it could mean that there are countless other versions of ourselves out there living completely different lives in completely different universes. So about trippy, right? Now let's apply this theory to the Mandela effect. What if, when we experience these discrepancies, we're actually tapping into our memories in another dimension or another life of us? So it would be like we're tapping into these memories of other alternative universes where these things actually are possible or actually existed. Think about it. The Mandela effect often involves these large groups of people believing these things really differently of how it originally happened. What if in these alternative universes event unfolded slightly differently as it did in this one, leading to variations in our memories here in this reality? It's like our consciousness somehow is linked to these other lives that we're living in these parallel universes, like to these other versions of ourselves. So could parallel universes be a thing, a possible theory for the Mandela effect? Theory number 2, CERN. A second theory that tries to explain this enigmatic Mandela effect is the mysteries of CERN. For those who don't know it, it's the European Organization for Nuclear Research, which has these massive particle accelerators and conduct all these groundbreaking experiments, which is said to be delving into like the deepest secrets of the universe. But the question is, what if these experiments are actually causing ripples in our universe, leading to the Mandela effect? So let's break it down. CERN's Large Hadron Collider, or LHC, smashes particles together at incredibly high speeds, recreating conditions similar to those right after the Big Bang. In doing so, it opens a gateway to the unknown where the laws of physics as we know it might no longer apply. Now, that is the question, if these experiments might be causing this Mandela effect, because they're like causing disruptions in the space-time continuum, which creates all these alternative realities that we might be experiencing. So in these alternate realities, events might be unfolding differently as they do over here in this reality, leading to these discrepancies that we experience during the Mandela effect. It's like this cosmic game of dominoes where one tiny disturbance can have a massive repercussion across the whole universe. So could CERN be responsible for the Mandela effect? Theory number 3, reality as a simulation. And our last theory is that of the simulation. Are we in a simulation? So what if everything we touch, see, and experience is just all 1 and 0s, like a cosmic video game we're playing? Well, sounds pretty much like we were in the Matrix, right? The simulation theory suggests that our entire universe, going down from like the smallest particle to like space itself, it's all part of like a hyper advanced computer program. In this simulation, everything we perceive as real is actually data being processed by like a super intelligent cosmic computer. Now here's where things get even more crazy. What if this matrix, this simulation, has glitches in it? And what if these glitches are responsible for the Mandela effect? You know, like these moments where massive groups of people remember one thing that basically never really happened. It's like when you're playing a video game and like for a second the graphics just glitch out, except on a cosmic scale. But yeah, before you start questioning the nature of your existence, let's remember this is just a theory, okay? Whether reality is a simulation or not, the Mandela effect is still a thing, and it's super interesting to talk about. So what do you think? Would you accept one of these theories as an explanation for the Mandela effect? Do you think these are made up? And were you actually also mind blown by some of these theories? Did you also experience the Mandela effect yourself? Let me all know in the comments down below. Personally, I don't know what to believe. I know like human memory is not perfect and that we are like indeed capable of reconsolidating memories when we associate something in the same context. Like our memories can be totally influenced by just like various factors, visual perception or the context itself, or like the exposure to like similar logos in the case of Skittles and CocaCola, similar situations. As a result, many people can have this collective misremembering of things, which leads to all these widespread beliefs. So for example, with Nelson Mandela's death, there was indeed another South African leader in jail at the time of Nelson Mandela's death. His name was Stephen Biko, and probably that's one of the reasons why many people remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison. So they started to like collectively believe or remember that Mandela was the one that died in prison and not Biko. In the case of Pikachu's Tail, for example, there were a lot of merchandise variations to Pikachu's way of looking, and some even added like this little black tip at the end of his tail. Also like other Pokemons, Raichu, who actually does have a black tip on his tail. So like what I mean is like our brains really tend to fill in this missing information by associating it to other memories. I mean, I don't know, just a way to debunk it, I guess. Overall, all of these Mandela effects actually are pretty intriguing. So if you guys liked this video, don't forget to subscribe. Also, maybe leave a comment down below, tell us your experience. If you also feel the same way about the Mandela effect, if you lived any of these Mandela effects yourself. And also you can follow me on my social media. And I'm gonna say for now, until next time.